This is the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active2, the 44mm LTE stainless steel version. Let's see what it can do. Hey everybody, welcome to Tech with Brett, where I help tech work for you. So I have been a long-time Samsung watch wearer. I've used the original Galaxy Watch, I use the Gear 2, I use the original Galaxy S watch, and I use the Galaxy Sport for quite a while. So in today's video, I'm using my first official Galaxy Watch, and I went all out. I wanted to see what the LTE and everything was all about. So today I'm going to show you how to get it set up and show you the top features that you need to know about the Galaxy Watch Active2. So here inside the box, you have some instructions on how to install the different bands. Here is the Galaxy Watch. It looks like this is the first time they have not had the bands on when you unbox it. So there you get the basic watch. And here the stainless steel version did come with these leather watch bands. So inside here we have a quick start guide on how to use it, and we'll be covering all of those features. And then here is the charger for the Galaxy Watch. Now, one thing I really like about the Galaxy Watch is they can be used on wireless charger with Qi wireless charging pads. So I have a Samsung dual wireless charging pad, so it's nice that I can charge my phone on one side and then I can lay my watch down on the other. So I'm really excited to be able to have that functionality back, which the TicWatch I was using did not have. Now let's install the bands. So make sure this paper's the right way. The buttons should be on the left side over here. So we're going to take this one. This is the top part, and then the longer one is the bottom. So to install these, it's very simple. Just take the non-quick release side, put it in the hole, and then pull down the quick release, and then lock it right into place. Now we're going to do that with the other side. Put it in the hole, pull down the quick release. There you go. Just like that, and it's solid. One of the great things about the Galaxy Watch is this is a 20mm standard watch size. So that means that you can go out and find any other watch style that you would like to add to this, and it will fit with no problems. Just some of the main benefits of using the Samsung Watch bands is they have the quick release so that you can easily get them on and off. Now that the band is installed, we're going to turn it on by holding down the power button on the bottom right side. And then we're going to go and make sure that you have the Galaxy Wearable application. And I also recommend going and downloading the Samsung Health app, making sure it's all the way updated if you don't already have that. Now there are a few differences between this version and the aluminum version of the Galaxy Watch. Now this comes in a 44mm size, which is this, or a 40mm size. And then it also comes in the aluminum version, which is the non-LTE version. So once the watch boots up over on my Galaxy Note 10 Plus, it pops up this notification saying add the Galaxy Watch now. So if that doesn't pop up, just head into the Galaxy Wearable application, and then it will go through the steps where you have to confirm on the watch and on the phone that that is the device you want to pair. So I've already done that, but now it's going to go through and connect the Galaxy Watch Active2 up to my phone. So now the Watch Active2 is paired, and we need to agree to those different terms and conditions. Now you could check for a backup if you've used the Galaxy Watch before, but I'm going to go ahead and set this up as new. So we're going to skip for now. And because this has LTE, it is now asking if I want to connect it to my mobile carrier. You will need to have a mobile watch plan for that to be able to be possible, but they don't cost too much if you're interested. Now I'm going to skip that for now, but it would run you through the steps to be able to add that to your watch. All right, let's take a look at navigating through the watch. So if we swipe to the left, we will go to our different widgets. And then if we swipe right, it will go back home, or it will go to our notifications. Here we have the back key right up here. And then here we have the home key or our apps key. So there it went into all the apps. And then if we swipe this way, we can see more applications. And then if we swipe down from the top, we have our quick settings. And then you can turn off the screen by placing your palm right on the screen. So that worked. And now we can use our watch. So the very first thing I want to do is customize my watch face. Now this is really easy to do. All you need to do is long press, and then it will pop up this option where I can go through and find a different watch face that I want to use. Now there are thousands of different watch faces you can actually download through the Galaxy Wearable application, but this is one that I've used in the past that I really like. Now down here at the bottom, you have the option to customize. So I can select customize, and now there are a lot of different things I can do on this to customize. So here it says swipe the screen to see the different styles. So right now I am on the color option. So if I want to change the color, I can just swipe up or down to change the color. So it says there are 12 different color options. So it's really cool that I can go through and choose the exact one I want. So I of course like this blue one right here. And then if I swipe over, now I can change the 4 different parts of this watch face that can be adjusted. So here I can have battery life, or there are 34 different options. I could choose weather, or I could choose sunrise, or I can choose to see if there's a chance of rain. So I'm going to keep this one at the battery. I swipe over. Here I have the date, so I like that on my watch face. Here I have the amount of steps that I've taken throughout the day, so I'm going to keep that one. And then the last box here is the weather. So I don't really want the weather, so let's go through and see if there's a better one that I would like to use. So you could have it jump right into your music. You can have it go to reminders, call history, timer, alarms, workout, walking, cycling, all kinds of different settings that you have here. So let's go ahead and choose music, because I want to be able to quickly get to my music and pause and play when it is on. So now when I hit OK, now it adjusts so you can see exactly how this works. Now the first thing I'm noticing about this watch is how big the screen is. So this is a 1.4 inch screen versus the 40 millimeter version, which is a 1.2 inch screen. Now for anyone that used the Gear Sport or the Gear S2, here you can see the size difference. So even though the size of the watch is the same, you have much more screen because you don't have this big bezel. Now one other difference is on the Gear Sport, you had this rotating bezel on the top. Well, that has now changed. On the Active2, you have the bezel, but it's right here where you just go around the outside edge of the device. Now let's talk about different ways in which you can activate the screen on your device. So if you don't look at the device for a while, it will just automatically time out and go black. Well, when you want to see the time, you can then just raise your wrist like you would check the time and it will automatically wake up. Now the other option you have is you can turn on the always on display. So if we swipe down to our quick settings and click this option right here, this is the always on display. So if we lock the screen, now you can see that it is still showing the clock even though it's locked. Now this is going to decrease your battery life, but it's nice that the watch is always on. So if you look down without having to move your wrist, you can still see the watch. Now the always on display watch face will change depending on the clock you're using, but it's very similar to the actual clock face on this one. Now if I wake it up, I can double tap and there it will wake it up so you can see it brighten up the screen, or you could just press any of the buttons on the side. So now let's go over navigating through the watch itself. So we already learned that if we swipe this way, we have different widgets. So there you can see all the different widgets that we have, and those are already set up by default. Now, if you want to adjust these, all you would need to do is hold down, and here you have an option where you could turn off the weather, or you could turn off calendar events, or you can go and add more. So I could add my alarms, or add an app shortcut page, or a full calendar, contacts, music, reminders, Samsung Health, and there are a ton of these. Again, you can go through and see all of those options right here. You can set sleep, you can see your steps, add water, songs. There are just tons of widget options available. So if we go back here to our main page, here you have a daily activity. I don't want that there. I'm going to hold it down and I can actually move it to a different part of the widget. Since it's a long row, you can adjust what would be the first widget that you see. And here I have a favorite apps, so I can actually click edit, and then I can go through and choose all of the apps that I want right here. So I just need to tap a plus, and then here I can choose one of my favorites. So I'm going to choose calendar, and then I'm going to go through and find my favorites. So I want music, and let's do Samsung Health. So now if I select back, now those have all been added. So that is how you can edit the widgets. Now over here under the notifications, you will see this little orange dot indicating that you have a notification. So if we swipe over, then we can see it, and then we swipe up to clear that notification. So again, I'm on my main page. I want to see my notifications. Usually you'll see the orange dot right there. And now there's only a notification to start Samsung Pay. If we swipe over again, you have an option to clear all notifications. And then if I wanted to swipe this way, I just swipe up and it will clear that notification. If we go into the settings here, it will actually open up our phone and it will give me some different options for notifications. So right now there are only 13 apps that are actually going to show notifications over here. If you go into here you can choose every application to show you notifications. Now, I will advise against that because you'll start getting all kinds of random notifications, like Google will be telling you the weather 20 times a day, and just other apps will always pop up. So I'd only go through and choose apps that you really want to see notifications. I kind of use this as a filter to what my phone is notified of and what I actually want to be notified of. So I want to see when somebody comes to my door. So I'm going to turn on notifications. I like to see my text messages. I use Google Voice, so I'm going to turn that on. And then I can go through and turn off or turn on any other applications that I want to notify me of over here. So let's scroll down, and maybe I want to be notified if somebody pays me on PayPal. So I could turn that on. Or I want to know when I receive a Snapchat. And so you can go through and choose all the notifications you want to have over here. And there is a way to block them on here. If you're tired of seeing a notification, you'll see a block setting. But now that that's done, we can go back. So next we have an option to show only while wearing. So if I take this off and put it on the charger, I don't want this to keep getting notified. So I'm going to keep that option on so it doesn't keep notifying my phone and the watch. Now next we have the option to show while using phone. So let's say I'm on my phone and I get a text message. Well, that text message is going to come through on my phone and on my watch. So typically I don't want that. So I'm going to make sure that this setting is off. And then here we have some advanced notifications. So the first option is auto show details. So whenever I receive a text message, it's not going to hide the content. It will actually show me the message on screen. Next, you have the notification indicator. So this is going to show an indicator on the watch for unread notifications. So I like that on. Now this next one, turn on screen when a notification is received. So I'm going to turn that on because as soon as I receive a notification, I want to have it pop up over here so that I can then quickly respond without having to wait for the watch to wake up. Now next we have Smart Relay. So if I get a notification on my watch and then I immediately pick up my phone and unlock it, it's going to jump right to that application and I can respond. So that helps prevent you from opening your phone, finding the application, then going into it and responding. So when we turn this on, it lets us quickly respond because it automatically opens up that app. So I'm going to keep that on. So that is how you adjust all the different notifications that come through on the watch. So when I receive a notification, there it vibrated and it popped up with the actual message. Now, when we tap on the notification, we have the option to read more, so we could see the full thread of messages, or here we could respond with voice, an emoji, or actually writing out the text. And then down here, there are suggested emojis and responses that I can type, or I can create my own custom responses by selecting edit responses right here. And then we can go through and create our own custom responses. So that's really nice if you're repeating the same thing all the time and you don't want to have to type it out on your watch, you can go through and create that. So let's create one real quick. And then here it pops up the box where I can use my handwriting to actually write down the message. And then you can swipe this way for more options. So let's say I want to make a message that says, I'll be home in 15 minutes. I'll be home in 15 minutes. And then I select done, and there is my message. And now I'm just going to go back. And now you can see that that is one of the options there. And then over here, you have the 3-dot menu. So I can select menu and I could go to read more. I could show on the phone so I can have it quickly open that app on the phone. Or let's say I no longer want to receive notifications from that app. Maybe it's one of those that keeps notifying you of stuff every day you don't want to know about on your watch. You can select block notifications. And then here we have the clear notifications option. So then it will just remove all of those notifications. So we're going to select back and let's respond to this. And we're going to type out the message this time. So now I can use handwriting one letter at a time. And you need to tap the space down here. So that works really well if you're just trying to type out a quick message. Now I did notice the bigger screen on the 44mm is super nice to be able to type that out. Now if I want to type a different way, I just swipe from the left. Here I could choose a T9 keyboard. Here I can choose the emoji keyboard. Here I can choose the number, the voice to text, the symbols, and then here I can do handwriting. And in the settings, you can adjust the language, you can turn on and off handwriting, you can change your smart typing skills, and more. So that's how you would respond to a message. And again, you can then just tap send and it will send that off. So now if we go over, that has actually cleared the notification as well, and we won't see that anymore. So now that we've covered both sides of the watch face, let's go to the top of the watch face. So if you swipe down from the very top, here we can see our battery life. We can see if we're connected to Bluetooth with that symbol. There will be an LTE icon if you're connected via LTE. And then here we have a few different options. So if you long press on these, you can actually move them around to wherever you would like. So you can add your favorites right here to the front screen. But let's go through what they are. So here we can turn on good night mode, and what that does is it will mute all the notifications on the watch. So if you're sleeping with the watch on, it will actually track your sleep, and so you can make it so it's not going to notify you during the sleep. So let's turn that off. Next we have brightness, so I can quickly go in here and I can adjust the brightness. Here we have the volume, so we can choose the ringtone right here, or we can have the media volume. So right now it's set to a 7, and then we have the ringtone volume, so it's turned off on vibrate, or you can turn it up. So that actually sounds really loud, and it's just right over here on the left side. Next we have do not disturb. So this will also change the option on your phone so you wouldn't receive any notifications at all, and you can choose the time that will be on. Next we have the always on display, so you can turn that on and off. And then here we can go into the watch settings. Now if we go over to the second screen, here you have movie theater mode. Here you have a flashlight where that turns on a white screen on the brightest setting. Here you have battery saving mode. So it's going to turn the watch into a grayscale. It's going to turn off Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, networks, and then it's going to turn off pretty much all functionality except for calls, messages, and notifications. And then down here you have airplane mode. You have water lock mode. So if you're going to use this in water, it is IP68 water resistant. So you can turn this on. And then in the water, you can't interact with your screen accidentally. Then you just need to hold down the power button right here to unlock water mode. And it uses that little sound to eject water from the speaker. And then it asks for you to shake it out. And then here you have the Wi-Fi that you could turn on and off. Here you can connect directly to a Bluetooth headset. So you have that option there. So here you can use location services where then you could use the Find My Watch if you're connected on LTE and you could find out where your watch is. So here you have battery modes. You have standard, you have power saving, or you could adjust just to the watch only. And then you can do optimized battery life. You could have the always on display on. You can set the screen timeout, your location, wake up gestures, vibration intensity, and the long vibration. And then one really convenient option is Find My Phone. So when you select that, it will then start ringing your phone. So once you choose that, it will then start ringing your phone at full volume, even if you have the sound on or off on that. So that's really convenient to have right there. And then lastly here is you have the watch volume. So you can do vibrate, mute, or sound. Now next, let's head into the settings of the Active2. Now there are a ton of different settings in here, but I'm going to show you two that you really need to know. So one of them is if you double tap the power key, you can go to a favorite application. So right now it's set to go to Bixby, but usually I want this to go to something that's a little more useful. So you could go to like Find My Phone, or you could have it go to Messages or Music application or whatever. So let's just set this up where it's going to go to the timer. And then down here, we have the touch bezel. So like I mentioned before, there is no longer a bezel on this, but here you have the touch bezel. So we are going to turn this on. So now when I want to scroll through a menu, I can just simply scroll around the outside, and that works really good. So you can see it works like that, or you could scroll through like this. You just cover up the screen when you do that, where here, around the entire outside of the screen, you have that bezel. So that's a really nice feature to turn on. So, and then if I want to double tap this button, it's going to go right into the timer application. So now the last few things I want to show you on the watch is what the other navigation buttons do. So if I want to set up Samsung Pay, so Samsung Pay allows me to pay at NFC terminals. And so all I need to do is hold down the back button and then it will jump into Samsung Pay. So I love using Samsung Pay. If you're away from your phone, you can actually use this for up to 5 different transactions. And there's the Samsung Pay symbol. So anywhere you see that, you are able to use Samsung Pay. So about 90% of the places that I actually buy things from, the NFC is there. So I've been using Google Pay on the TicWatch, but now that I have Samsung Pay on here, I get the extra benefits of the rewards. So I'm excited about this. So unlike the phone can be used pretty much anywhere with NFC and MST, but now on the Active2, it is NFC only. So now we're going to start up Samsung Pay, and now we're going to open up the Galaxy Wearable app on our phone to get this connected. So here on the phone, we just need to tap open Samsung Pay, and there it is downloading a watch plugin to be able to use that. So there it opens Samsung Pay. Now I've already set up Samsung Pay on my phone. If you need a video how to do that, you can check the one in the description below. And now we do need to update the Samsung Pay application, so I'm going to do that. While we're waiting for that to update, let me show you some other things you can do in the Galaxy Wearable application. So we already talked about notifications. Next, you can go into the apps, and instead of the rotary list, you could have the list view. So everything just shows up in a row. Next, you have auto open applications. So focusing on icon in the app, the screen will open automatically, which is pretty cool. And then here you could change the list. So you can do a custom list or just the most recent will show up first. And then here is how you can reorder that list. So you can just grab these and move them wherever you want. So it's nice that you can do that if you don't want to organize them over here on the watch. And then scrolling down here, you have some different settings for the application. So there you could adjust the quick responses. If I select manage apps, I can actually turn off apps on the watch. So I don't want to use the email app here. So I'm going to select minus, and then it will show as a hidden app. So you can go through and kind of customize some of the other settings there. And then we're going to select save. And then down here you have the widgets, so you can customize a widget order right here on the watch. You can adjust the sound and vibration, you can adjust the display. You have the advanced features, so pretty much everything we saw over on the watch, you can adjust here in the Galaxy Wearable applications. Now this is one really cool thing, is you can add content to your watch. So say you have music that you want to add to your watch so you don't need your phone to listen to. This is where you would add those tracks. So you just go through, let's go to my albums, go to my download, and then here I have a few songs that I could add over. So I'm going to select done, and then it's going to connect to the watch and Bluetooth those over to the watch. Now that we have a song loaded to the watch, we can just simply press the music button right here and it will start playing. If we jump into the music settings right here, we have a few more options. So we can play and pause, skip to the next track, change the volume. And then right here, we have an option to change to play from what's on the watch or to change to play what's on your phone. So you can actually control the music that is playing on your phone right here. If we go back to the watch, over here in the settings, we have the option to shuffle, repeat, add to favorites. And here we could change from listening on the watch speaker to listening on Bluetooth. And then if we go back in here, we could set a song as a ringtone, or we could delete a song we have downloaded to the watch. If we swipe up, we can see different playlists or different tracks or albums that we have loaded on here. So if we go back and select phone, this is going to be a controller of our phone. If we click menu, we do have the option to change the music player. So right now it's set to Google Play Music. I could set it to YouTube, or I could set it to Amazon Music. So let's keep it Google Play. So now when we play music on our phone, here I have the option to pause, play, and go to the next track. And then I can change the volume of my phone as well. Now, if we go back, we also have the option for images. So say I want to add an image over to my watch, I can do the same. So there I found a few pictures I want to send over, select done, and then it's going to send those over to the watch. And there the images have been received over on the watch. So next we have send SOS requests. So if you press the bottom button 3 times, it will then send an SOS message to a specific contact with your current location. So that's pretty cool that it has that. And then next we have find my watch. So maybe your watch is off and you can't find it. Your kids took it. It happens to me all the time. I can tap here. I can select find my watch. This will then vibrate and buzz so that you could find it. So if you have LTE, you could use get location to find out where the watch currently is. And then here we can add our mobile networks because it has LTE. Here you can choose the text to speech options. And then you have some other accessibility features. And here's where you can back up your device. You can sync settings, check for updates, and other information. So let's finish Samsung Pay. So let's open back up Samsung Pay. And now because we've already linked cards on our phone, so now we just need to add the card here on the watch. So since I already use Samsung Pay, I can import cards that I've used on my phone to the watch. So I'm going to select that option. So because I've already used Samsung Pay and I have cards there, I'm going to use the import card option. And now it is showing the different cards that I can use. So I'm going to add this card, and you will need to add a PIN code to the watch if you want to use Samsung Pay. So we're going to add a PIN. And now that the PIN is set, we get to select next. And now we're going to add in the information for that card. Because this is a separate device from your phone, you will need to activate it as well. So you most likely receive an email or you'll need to call your bank. Okay, our card has now been successfully added. So we're going to select done. And now it says press and hold the back key on any screen to open Samsung Pay on your watch. And then you can rotate the bezel to select card and then tap pay on the screen to pay. So now if I want to pay, I just hold down the back button and there it asks for my PIN. And now I just need to hold this against the NFC terminal. Now last, I want to show you the home button down here. So if I'm on any page, I can just select home and it takes me right back to my clock face. Now if I press it again on the home page, it will then take me to the app. So again, I can scroll through and find one of these, or I can just tap on one of them and it will go into that application. Now there are quite a few different applications already installed. So you have your message app, phone, Bixby, S-Health, Samsung Pay. So we've already gone through those. If you keep scrolling, you'll then see the other applications. So I added those pictures. So I'm going to select the gallery and here we could see those pictures. And there are already some preset pictures as well. So let's go back. So now if you want to download other applications, you can actually do that right from the watch. So here you have the Galaxy Store. So we open that up. It's very limited here on the watch. You can't see as much, but it is nice that I could quickly download an application if I want to. So here I just need to agree to the terms and conditions. And now here we have some different categories. We have essential, we have featured, we have watch faces, apps, and then we could also just have it go right to the phone. So let's go to the essentials. And so here are some other things. We could download the calculator. We have a Samsung internet browser, voice memo. I really like having that on the watch. So I'm going to go through, download that one. We have Strava, Uber, Smart Things. Oh, definitely going to install that one right now. So there are just a ton of different applications that you have. Ooh, camera controller. I didn't have any of these on the last Gear Sport that I used. So really excited about all of these. Calorie counter, Gear VR controller, Endomondo. So just a lot of different options there on applications. Next, let's try out Bixby. So if you go into the apps and open up Bixby, it will ask for permissions and a few different things the first time you set it up. But after doing that, I can now talk to Bixby just by voice. Hi, Bixby. Turn off the office outlet.
Sure thing. Office outlet is now turned off.
So far that is working great with my smart things. And then here it's going to give me some recommendations on other things I can say. So I could use Spotify to play music. I could have it turn on different settings right here. I can also ask just for other information. Now, one of the other apps I downloaded was the camera controller. So when you open this up, it's automatically going to unlock your phone and open up right to the camera. And then I can actually see the viewfinder right here. So if I change the position, you'll see it move over there on the phone. And then I can just snap the photo button, or I can change to the timer. Over here, you see it's 5 seconds. And then once I click the button, it's then going to count down and snap the photo. Now when I'm on video mode and I tap the option, you can see that it starts recording. Now this is super handy, especially if you have a non-note device, because the S Pen can do this, but this is great that you have all that functionality right from the Galaxy Watch. Now make sure you go and download the Samsung Health application, because all the information that the Galaxy Watch records will sync through here. So here that you can see 5 minutes ago, it synced my 5,000 steps. And up here in the menu, it is synced to the Active2. Now in the app, this will track all of your fitness. You have your active minutes there, you have sleep, you have weight and other information. Here, if you go under the Together tab, this will actually link with your phone number, and other people that you have in your contacts will show up in here. So here I can see that my wife currently has hit way more steps than I have in the last 7 days. But now that I'm back on the Galaxy Watch, we'll see how long that will last. So you can do other challenges and other fun things right here on the application. So I've gone ahead and activated my Active2 on my cellular carrier. So let me explain how this will work. So if we go into the Galaxy Wearable application, we can see a little bit more information. If I go down here to Account and Backup, here we have an option called remote connection. So make sure that that is on. But what happens here is when I am remotely connected, meaning when I am away from my phone, when my Bluetooth is off or not connected, I will then have my notifications, messages, emails, Find My Watch, and Find My Phone information forwarded to my watch, or all that information is sent to my watch. So even if you don't have the LTE version, you can still be remotely connected as long as you are connected to a Wi-Fi and your phone is connected to another Wi-Fi. So you could leave this at home, connect it to Wi-Fi, go somewhere, connect your watch to Wi-Fi, and then you would still be able to receive those types of notifications. Now, the great thing about LTE is you will still receive those calls, where you can pretty much receive the other notifications and text messages even if you don't have the LTE version. So right now you can see over on the watch, it shows that I am connected using Bluetooth. So that means that as soon as my phone gets a call, it's going to show up on here as well. The notifications and everything will just show up here via a Bluetooth connection. But now let's say I disconnect the Bluetooth, or I leave my phone at home and then I go out and about and I'm going to do things without my phone and just use my watch. So right here, you'll see that it says standalone and it's just showing a Bluetooth icon up there. Now that means that the Bluetooth signal is on the watch, but it is not currently connected to a phone or connected to the cellular carrier. Now there is a little bit of a delay once you disconnect the Bluetooth. It takes about 60 seconds before it goes from being connected to the phone to then being connected to your cellular network. So now if I swipe this down, you can see that I am connected remotely through Sprint. So now up here we have LTE option, we have Volt, voice over LTE. So now I can use my watch just like I was connected to Wi-Fi, or pretty close to being connected via Bluetooth, all without having that connection there. So as you can see, it has remotely connected. So that means if I get a text or a different notification, it's going to come through the watch. And now for phone calls, if somebody calls me, not only is it going to ring on my phone, but it is going to ring the same time on my watch. Now this depends on the carrier that you have. Some may be a little different. It might forward the phone number to the watch, but I believe now the main way that this works is you get a call and you have the same phone number that's synced between the phone and the watch. So it will ring on both of these at the same time. Let's try it out. So again, they are remotely connected. There I received a call. I am actually seeing the call first on my Galaxy Watch Active, and now I'm seeing it over here on the Note 10. So now you can talk through the watch and you can hear through it as well. I can change the volume right here. I could connect to a Bluetooth, so I could just have my watch and a Bluetooth headset, and then here I could mute the call. Now, if I select the menu here, I can go to the keypad and type in numbers if maybe I'm calling and I need to do that. But that is how you would do a phone call on the Galaxy Watch all on its own. So now if I make a call out, hi Bixby, call Verizon line. So there I'm receiving the call, and this is from the same number that I have on my phone. So everything works just great. So now I'm going to be receiving a text over on the phone's phone number, but it should also show up over here on the watch as well. So there you can see the message showed up. And now if I send my preset message back, it will then be sent to that same phone number. So it's not like the watch has a different number than the phone. They work simultaneously together. Now let's try that one more time by texting directly from the watch. Send a text message to Verizon line. I'll see you tomorrow morning. So there it came through the same thread, showing that they are all the same phone number. So it's not confusing to other people you're texting or anything. This works simultaneously together, and it's just really nice to have. So once I get back to Bluetooth range, this will then no longer connect through LTE. It will then connect directly to my phone, and everything will work as it previously did. So there are definitely some benefits of having the LTE version of the Active2. Now, if that's something you don't need, there is the Wi-Fi Bluetooth version available that can do everything pretty much, but take phone calls and get those notifications anywhere that you have data connection. So if you were looking for a way to be connected all the time without having your phone with you, the Active2 LTE is definitely the way to go. And that is how you set up the Active2 and get it all synced to your phone and adjust all the settings that you need to customize to get this working the way that you want it to work. If you have any further questions about the Active2, please let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see other videos about wearables or other watch faces you can use, check out the video over there on the side. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.